Most Honorable Prime Minister, taking a while, perhaps, a lot of steps. That it's good. You counted them. 28 steps. Yeah. 28. That's as part of promoting Jamaica Moves, right? So you're walking up those steps every morning and also after work. Good workout. So that's 28 steps. There's something in Jamaican folklore about 11 steps. Is that courthouse business? Yes. Why, this culture is so rich. Jeez. The geniuses who came up with these things. And don't even start with our language. When we use it, you get it. Fenke, fenke. Pian, pian. Chaka, chaka. Yeah. The culture is rich. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. Please remain standing for the national anthem. Ambassador Alicock will now lead us in prayer.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Eternal Father, you whom we acknowledge whenever we sing our national anthem, and to whom we turn in times of tribulation and celebration, we praise you today. We praise you, O God, for who you are and for your greatness. We confess our stumblings, Lord, as we seek to honor you and to serve our people. Thank you for your forgiveness and your grace. We thank you also, Heavenly Father, for making us Jamaicans as one. We thank you for the countless ways in which you have blessed Jamaica, land we love, for the soft power you have granted us in our strivings to improve ourselves economically and academically, allowing us to impact the globe over these 60 years of our independence in scholarship, dance, theater, film, sport, literature, music, science, and global governance. For the vision you gave us to seek independence and continue to give us in shaping a united Jamaican community at home and abroad, we thank you. Thank you for the wisdom you have imbued in our leaders and our people to seek justice and to treat with each other in care in the building of a greater and freer union. Lord, the Jamaican diaspora is the reason for our physical and virtual gathering this morning. As we launch the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference under the leadership of our Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, we petition you to continue to give him and all our leaders the strength, empathy, and imagination to inspire our people at home and abroad in advancing the welfare of Jamaicans and the whole human race. Lord, please bless the proceedings of today's launch in a special way and grant us true cohesion in spirit, in aspiration, and in love. These things we pray in the precious name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. And now we'll be led in reciting the national pledge. Ms. Ngozi Wright will lead us.
Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage of my mind, the strength and vigor of my body. In the service of my fellow citizens, I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
Thank you, Ngozi. Please be seated. Mine is the task to go through the list of persons to be acknowledged. And what that means is that when it's your time to speak, you don't have to go through the same list. So here we go. The Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister. Mr. Mark Golding, Leader of the Opposition. Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Members of the Cabinet, Senator the Honorable Aubin Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce. The Honorable Daryl Vaz, Minister of Science, Energy and Technology. The Honorable Alando Terilong, State Minister in the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. Ambassador Sheila Sealy-Monteith, Permanent Secretary and Head of the Jamaican Foreign Service. Dean and members of the Diplomatic Corps. Permanent Secretaries, Senior Government Officials. Senator Don Webby, Group CEO Grace Kennedy, Legacy Partner and Chairman of the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference. Other legacy partners, Ms. Sania Spencer, representing the Honorable Earl Jarrett, Chairman, JN Group, and Ms. Clover Moore, representing Mr. Courtney Campbell, CEO, Victoria Mutual Group. Heads of Jamaican Overseas Missions and staff, Professor Neville Ying, Program Facilitator, Lisa Ann Ogilvie, Conference Project Manager, members of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, and indeed we have two such members here, Shauna Chin, representing the West Midwest of the United States, and Dr. Alan Cunningham, representing the Southern U.S., other representatives of the Global Jamaica Youth Council and the wider Jamaican diaspora, representatives of returning residents associations in Jamaica, members of the media, entertainers, Ms. Ngozi Wright and the Energy Plus Mentor Band, members of staff of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, friends of Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen inside the Kingston Hall, and those joining us around the globe, welcome, welcome, bienvenido, bienvenue, 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 tout le monde. Buenos días a todos. Hua Ying, welcome. That's Mandarin, I think, yes. So, Zhao Shang Hao, which means good morning. Yes, good morning. And so on and so forth. Right. No, I love the languages. Sorry, time is going. You know, you did exactly what I expected you to do, Prime Minister. Well done. And we didn't even coordinate that. Yes, of course. Wagwan or morning. Yeah, and then they have some other recordings these days about everybody up or something like that. So, you know, we're always coming up with slangs and yeah. Anyway, let's keep the program going. Because to start talking about Jamaica and Jamaicans, we could go on for extra days, as that festival song says. You remember that one? Let's continue with the program, though. And we are going to be hearing from a gentleman who has graciously agreed to serve once again as chairman of the Diaspora Conference, in this instance, the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference. A lot of celebrations this year. He is the group CEO of the 100-year-old Grace Kennedy, which turned 100 on Valentine's Day, the 14th of February. Love is indeed in the air. Let's welcome Miss Senator Don Webby.
So, good morning, everyone. I thought that young lady saying the national pledge, Mr. Prime Minister, you know, I said to myself, Minister, that we have hope, eh? This is so beautiful, we have hope. Mr. Master of Ceremonies, thank you very much for those instructions in terms of the protocols. But let me use the opportunity, as I always do, to recognize the most Honorable Andrew Holness, our Prime Minister, Mr. Mark Golding, the Leader of the Opposition, and of course my colleague, Senator and friend, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and all the cabinet ministers. I see quite a few here, and thank you for your support this morning, and all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen here this morning. Thank you so much for coming. So good morning again, and welcome to the global launch of the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference, which is being hosted under the theme, Reigniting a Nation for Greatness. Reigniting a Nation for Greatness. The Diaspora Conference is a signature event that brings Jamaica, as we would say, from every nook and cranny across the globe together to discuss matters of national importance to Jamaica, land we love. As you know, this conference is extra special because Jamaica celebrates its Diamond Jubilee, and I'm indeed honored to serve as chairman of the conference in this, our 60th year of independence, and of course, as mentioned by our MC, Grace Kennedy's 100th anniversary. And what I'll say on behalf of Grace Kennedy and my team here, the best is yet to come at 100. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade for its commitment for this event. I want to especially recognize the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, who, based on my experience as a sitting senator, she has really proven herself to be an experienced and effective leader, forging partnerships between Jamaica and other countries for mutual benefit. I was in two minds of whether I should say this, Mr. Prime Minister, but I will. I also want to congratulate her for her candidature for the post of Secretary General of the Commonwealth. And she has my full support. I think it's a big compliment to Jamaica for any Jamaican in the world to fill that post. And I know, Senator, if you are selected, you're going to do a fantastic job. I know that for a fact. Colleagues, Senator Leslie Campbell, again my friend in the Senate, has also been doing a fantastic job as we work together for staging this conference. And Leslie, I know we have been on many calls, and I thank you for your support. I must also thank the Most Honorable Prime Minister and the government of Jamaica for their support. By the way, Mr. Prime Minister, I saw you in Philadelphia at the pen relays in your Jamaican colors. I was hoping to see you in a 50-meter dash, but I was disappointed. So I'm going to promote a race with the Prime Ministers of the English-speaking Caribbean for a 50-meter dash, under one condition, that you give them a head start based on your youth. But I heard it was a fantastic event, Mr. Prime Minister. And as you know, Grace Kennedy support the pen relays every year. I'm also grateful to be supported by an excellent and experienced conference planning team that has been working to deliver a well-produced and exciting hybrid conference. Your answer to call to serve your country is very much appreciated. And I can say, Minister Johnson-Smith, we have been on many, many calls, and yet we have a really fantastic team working on the conference. And you know what it says to me? And this is my second year as the chairman, Senator Hill. The conference is really a tangible example of public sector and private sector partnership since its inception from 2004. So I've been doing this for 18 years. At the time when we started out, Grace Kennedy, Jamaica National, Victoria Mutual, and J. Ray and Neville were the legacy partners. So I want to again big up and say a special thanks to the Grace Kennedy Group with my team, Jamaica National and Victoria Mutual, for staying the journey with us. And a special thanks to J. Ray and Neville for their participation in previous conferences as a legacy partner. To our sponsors, I must thank you a lot. You are the ones why the conference can be made possible. And as one Prime Minister said some time ago, it takes cash to care. So thank you very much to all our sponsors. The presence of each person and organization represented here this morning signifies your commitment to engage in the Jamaica diaspora and your recognition of the Jamaica diaspora importance to our nation, our past, our present, and our future. As we all know, the diaspora is of strategic importance to Jamaica as it represents a reservoir of social and financial capital which must be optimized for national development. As somebody, and Grace Burnett is here, in the remittance business, in 2020, when we were going through COVID-19, remittances actually grew by over 20%. So our brothers and sisters living outside of Jamaica, they were sending funds to their loved ones in Jamaica. So the remittances actually increased, opposition leader Golden, from 2.91 billion to 3.3 billion. And if you think about that, at the same time, we had a significant fall off in tourism earnings. And I said to myself, without the strength of our diaspora on their undying love for our country, we could have faced a balance of payment challenge. We could have faced a balance of payment challenge. But the love of their country, they rose to that challenge and increased their remittances. The truth is, as we speak and we have all the leaders of the country in here, we have had our challenges as a country, but we have and will continue to overcome. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic over the last 2 years really tested the resilience of our country, and in my opinion, we came out with flying colors. And as I said in the Senate, it's not me say so. If you look on the Finch and Moody's report, they give us a full endorsement of what I've just said. So coming out of every crisis that we have had, whether in the private sector or the public sector, it is always a time of reflection, and it's always a time of evaluation of the lessons learned and what we could have done better and how we can plan for the future. One of the areas that I am extremely passionate about, and it's also been discussed all over the world, and I have been saying this long before COVID-19, is about reducing the import food bill. It's now $1 billion, Senator Hill. We need to set a target to reduce it to $500 million. And I believe, and I know my colleagues on the Diaspora is listening this morning, one of the key areas where the Diaspora support will be crucial is in the area of agriculture and agro-investment. I strongly want to encourage, as a businessman, to encourage my Jamaican brothers and sisters in the diaspora to invest in that sector. As you know, I'm also chairman of JAMPRO, and our objective, and Dan Edwards is there, our objective is really to roll in the red tape and roll out the red carpet for all investors. And I want to invite the diaspora to speak to JAMPRO so they can help you to navigate your investment needs in Jamaica. And I also want to support, and I really believe very strongly that agriculture, agro-processing is going to be a huge growth area for Jamaica. And I personally see the diaspora playing an integral role in that area. You know, when you fly over Jamaica, I'm sorry, Minister Charles not here, and you look at all the arable land. I mean, we need to put those into production. The final remark I'll make today is that the world has changed since COVID-19. It has accelerated the digital revolution, has shown the potential to facilitate a world without borders, borderless. The reason why I raised this at this function this morning is that Jamaicans living anywhere in the world can function in a very productive way to work for their beloved country, Jamaica, whether in the capacity as a private sector leader or a private sector person, or even in the public sector leader of the opposition. The world has changed with new technology of the Zoom, etc. So I see this also as a big opportunity of where we can work closer with the diaspora, because it's now a borderless world, and the technology is there to support that interaction. So colleagues, friends, I'm looking forward to the discussions that we will have during the conference on these areas, and implementation, underline the word implementation, of the outcomes of our discussions. I said to my team, and I got a giggle, but you know, as I said, what gets measured gets done. We have set ourselves an ambitious but achievable target of 5,000 participants for the conference. You can give me a round of applause by setting such an aggressive target. We have set ourselves a target of 5,000 participants at this conference. And the truth is that we need your help to make this a reality. Invite your friends, family, and colleagues to attend and use all the platforms, all the social media platforms. Mr. Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition, retweet for me, no? I believe that we can get to the 5,000 participants to promote the conference. So in closing, we need to remind ourselves that we have a rich culture, heritage, and a legacy as a country. I truly, truly believe Jamaica is the best country in the world. I believe that from the bottom of my heart. And I know we all feel a sense of pride when the black, green, and gold is flown high. When we touch down on the soil after time away from home, when we hear reggae music playing on the airwaves, and of course, I could not leave out this one, our jerk chicken and jerk pork with roast breadfruit and a little grey sauce on top of that. So we all love Jamaica, and we want the best for Jamaica. I have never been more positive about our country in all my entire life, as a private sector leader and as a citizen of this country. And I say it everywhere I go in the world, my team can tell you, Jamaica is the greatest country in the world. I thank you.
The businesses to help you live a better life, a beautiful life, a graceful life with Grace Kennedy Financial Group.
My name is Asha Richards, and I'm the regional lead of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council, Northeast USA. This is a time for you to ask your burning questions, as well as to find out ways that you can be more involved in initiatives to propel Jamaica forward. So I'm calling Jamaicans from yard and abroad to save the dates, June 14th through 16th. And we look forward to the Jamaica 60th Diaspora Conference as we seek to reignite the nation for greatness.
Indeed, it is time to reignite a nation for greatness. It is what is needed right now. We know what to do. We know what needs to be done. And some of us, that fire, that candle, that light inside, we're allowing it to go out or to go dim. We need to let our light so shine among men. Oops, Bible, straight into the Bible. Just like that. Right, so it does make sense. It makes a lot of sense to use this opportunity of Jamaica 60 to get that fire. You know, sometimes you have the fire there burning and then it starts to wane and, you know, almost totally out. No, now is the time. We don't want that to happen. So let us work together to reignite a nation for greatness. The Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell, has a word or two on this theme.
Follow instructions, but I'll have to veer from that slightly this morning. And particularly in circumstances where the retainer didn't come early enough. Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Dervin Malcolm, Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister, Mr. Mark Golding, Leader of the Opposition, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and for whatever reason she has decided to walk out on me. But I thought I was providing good support, but evidently not. And Minister, I support you wholeheartedly, and I could very well have just said ditto to what Senator Webby has said and move on. But let me. You've been a most wonderful person to work with, and I'm sure when that event takes place, that we'll miss you in a certain place on Duke Street. But very well. Other cabinet ministers, other specially invited guests, including those online, members of our diplomatic corps. This morning, I am truly excited to welcome you to this global launch of the Jamaica 60th Diaspora Conference, which will be held between the 14th and the 16th of June under the theme, Reigniting a Nation to Greatness. And of course, we won't have everybody being gathered here or gathered in a conference hall. It will be by way of a hybrid format. 2 years ago, we were in the throes of a new and worrying pandemic. But here we are today, able to meet and greet in person while utilizing the opportunity available in the digital space to reach so many of our Jamaican family and friends of Jamaica across the world. Our ability to get to this stage is in itself a testament to the fortitude of the Jamaican spirit and to a tenacity to prosper amidst the most difficult of circumstances. It is also a happy coincidence that the 9th staging of the biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference falls within the year in which we commemorate Jamaica's Diamond Jubilee, and it is therefore aptly designated a Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference. Without doubt, Jamaica's history and development have been significantly shaped by the forces of migration. There is an oft-used saying, you can find a Jamaican in every corner of the globe. Taking into account the need to preserve and strengthen ties with our Jamaican family overseas, the government of Jamaica has been unwavering in its commitment to deepen and strengthen partnership with its valuable diaspora, both in traditional and non-traditional countries. The staging of the biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference has been a centerpiece of the engagement and refinement of the partnerships with the diaspora and all relevant stakeholders over the past 19 years. Since its inception, the conferences have evolved in size, structure, and content, embracing various themes. We anticipate that with the use of the virtual platform this year, including staging satellite hubs in some countries, we will have an even greater reach across the diaspora locations. The establishment of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and the Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council were both deliverables of the 8th Biennial Diaspora Conference held in June 2019, specifically designed to ensure a more inclusive and expansive relationship with the diaspora across the globe. The members possess a vast range of talents, interests, and expertise, drawn from Africa, Asia, the Pacific, Canada, the Caribbean, Europe, Latin America, the Middle East, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America. Both the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and the Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council, through their work programs, are supporting the government's implementation of the SDGs, which are firmly aligned to Vision 2030. I'm pleased that many council members have joined us virtually and that we have in our midst this morning 2 of them who are currently on vacation in Jamaica, Ms. Shauna Chin, the Vice Chair of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, and Dr. Alan Cunningham, Team Lead for the Prosperity Working Group. Ladies and gentlemen, since assuming office in September 2020, I have been honored to work with various stakeholders and the Jamaican diaspora in the execution of my duties as Minister with responsibility for diaspora affairs. While my ability to travel was curtailed due to the pandemic, I've been able to engage in the virtual space and have been fortunate so far to visit the diaspora in New York and more recently in Ireland, where I attended the Global Jamaica Diaspora Summit hosted by the Government of Ireland and the International Organization for Migration. My participation in that summit provided many useful opportunities to demonstrate the role of Jamaica as a country that has been making positive steps in diaspora engagement. The COVID-19 pandemic has, among other things, highlighted the importance of diaspora engagement and the need for mechanisms aimed at encouraging, supporting, and stimulating those relations in all aspects. The upcoming Jamaica 60th Diaspora Conference will be both celebratory and substantive in scope and content, with a focus on digital transformation and innovation. The general objectives of the conference are to create and maintain strong links between Jamaica and its diaspora, market Jamaica as a viable alternative for investment, collaborate with the diaspora to discuss, identify, and implement initiatives for harnessing
the potential that exists within their home countries and which complement national development agenda, and for alliances in such areas as business, social investment, among others. And lastly, align with the Jamaica 60 commemorative program to deliver a culturally immersive experience and encourage national pride in our heritage. The conference will be preceded by church services locally and in the diaspora on Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and the 12th of June 2022. These are being coordinated by Bishop Ransford Jones out of Canada, our faith-based sector representative on the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. Work is well advanced in relation to the program of the conference, which is being framed in consultation with various stakeholders, including MDAs, the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, and the Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council, and the wider diaspora. This is under the guidance of Professor Neville Ying, who has a wealth of knowledge and experience in diaspora engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be moving at great speed in the coming days to mobilize the support across the globe through satellite briefings hosted by our overseas missions, as well as through the use of social and other media. We look forward to your support in promoting this important conference. I thank Senator Don Wavy, the Honorable Earl Jarrett, and Mr. Courtney Campbell, our legacy partners, our sponsors, and all stakeholders, without whom this conference would not be possible. I strongly encourage you to join us on the 14th through to the 16th June for what promises to be a memorable conference with vibrant and robust discussions and positive outcomes as we seek to reignite a nation to greatness. May God bless all Jamaicans at yard and abroad, and may He continue to bless and favor Jamaica, land we love. I now invite you to listen to a brief overview of the program presented by Professor Ying. Thank you.
My fellow Jamaicans at home and in diaspora locations across the globe, good morning, good evening, good night, depending on where you are. It is my distinct pleasure to present to you the highlights of the program for the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference. I will cover three major areas: the context for the conference, the purpose of the conference, and highlights of the conference program. The context for the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference is strengthening, expanding, and sustaining diaspora engagement in a digitalized world. The purpose of the conference is to recommend strategies for strengthening, expanding, and sustaining diaspora engagement. We will do this by combining the cultural affinity of the diaspora to Jamaica and the engagement opportunities offered by new and emerging technologies. On June 11th and 12th, there will be church services in diaspora host countries and at home in Jamaica. During the 3 days, June 14th to 16th, we will have exciting, engaging, and interactive sessions. We will start with a conference opening ceremony, and this will be followed by plenary sessions covering the following major areas: diaspora engagement in a digitalized world, transformation of education, transformation of health and wellness services, transformation of the orange economy, our cultural and creative industries, diaspora business and investments in Jamaica. There will be three special interest forums. The first forum will focus on engaging young diaspora members, Generation Z and millennials. The second forum will focus on the role of faith-based groups in diaspora engagement and community transformation. The third forum will focus on customer satisfaction for diaspora members by government at your service, ministries, departments, and agencies. The final set of plenary sessions will cover reports on achievements since Diaspora Conference 2019, and the roadmap for actions on recommendations from the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference. Throughout the conference, there will be special cultural items showcasing the best talents in Jamaica and the diaspora, meetings with special guest personalities from Jamaica and diaspora host countries, interactions and transactions with private sector companies, the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and government at your service, ministries, departments, and agencies in the virtual marketplace. We look forward to an exciting, engaging, and productive Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference.
It sounds as if it's going to be quite a conference already, and we're definitely looking forward. The conference virtual platform is up and running, and we thank those of you who have been watching and listening. Remember, please use the hashtags Diaspora Conference 2022. That's hashtag Diaspora Conference 2022, hashtag Jamaica Diaspora, hashtag Reignite Our Nation with the Diaspora, hashtag Celebrating Jamaica 60, and hashtag Countdown to Conference. Hope you got that. Please spread the word. Moving right along, we saw, I've been waiting.
To register for MFAFT's Diaspora Conference 2022, visit mfaft.gov.jm/JA60Diaspora-CONF. Select the Register As drop-down arrow and select Attendee Registration. Enter your full name, email address, and password, then select Agree and Continue. Enter any additional information required and select Next to complete the registration process. Once you have logged in or registered, you will see the newsfeed. The newsfeed shows updates and posts from the event admin, sponsors, and other attendees. To post to the newsfeed, select Here and type your message. You can select the photo video icon or the emoji to add an image or feeling to your post, and select Post. Select Exhibitor Hall to the left of your screen to see virtual booths from the event's sponsors. Click a booth to visit it. Use the various links to interact with the sponsor's brand. Select the Next Booth or Previous Booth buttons at the top of the page to navigate. Leaderboard. The leaderboard shows the ranking of the attendees by points. Points can be collected by visiting certain pages on the platform to qualify attendees for prizes. Select Collect Points on the leaderboard to see where you can visit to get uncollected points. Briefcase. Various items through the platform can be added to your briefcase. Such items are indicated by a briefcase icon next to them. Attendees are able to download these items and retrieve them from their briefcase. Livestream. You can see upcoming sessions in the Schedules tab. Sessions can be added to your calendar to ensure you're notified in time to join and to be easily accessed. While a live stream is active, you may simply select the live stream button on the left of your screen or select the video icon that is always at the top of your page. A few actions become available when in a live session. On the right of your screen, there are 3 tabs. The Chat tab allows you to see comments from others. You can make a comment or reply by typing your comment here and selecting the Send icon. The Participants tab shows a list of participants currently online. The Q&A tab allows you to see questions from others to the presenters. You can ask a question by typing it here, then selecting the Send icon.
Now we know, and you'll be able to watch that over and over and over again in order to make sure that you get it. Nothing wrong with that. Right. It's time now for us to hear from the very, very charming and smart and brilliant. Look at the smile getting wider on her face. Let's give a rousing round of applause to Ngozi Wright.
Jump down, baby. How we are the future with the nation. I rise from Kingston City, nurtured on Kingston City, fed by elders' wisdom. Soon come run this kingdom. Who knew that we would be greater? And that a female would lead Jamaica. With all the falls, still celebrate the strength. Jamaica with 60 independence. Jump down, baby. Jump down, baby. Are we at the future generation? Jump down, baby. Jump down, baby. Are we at the future for the nation? This is the land of kings and queens. Jamaicans must reign supreme. One love, one heart, united in a dream, working together as a team. Scientists claim it's a mystery, fastest human in a history. Whether reggae music or blazing the track, salute the green, the gold and the black. Whether reggae music or blazing the track, salute the green, the gold and the black. Jump down, baby, jump down, baby. Are we at the future generation? Jump down, baby, jump down, baby. Are we at the future for the nation?
All right. Well done, Jam Dong Baby. Do we have any independence babies inside here? No? Yes? Oh, company's office. Goodness, remind me. Judith Ramlogan. Yes, she's an independence baby. Anybody else? Okay. So born on the 6th. Born in the year. All right. About 9 months into the year. Never mind. Okay. So, I think we have another diaspora message. Let's take a look.
My name is Molly Lawrence and I'm involved in higher education in Germany. I'm looking forward to participating in this conference to see how I can partner with other Jamaicans in the diaspora who are passionate about education. Educating our people is the best way of reigniting a nation for greatness.
Thank you very much. And at this time, just a slight adjustment to our program as we welcome, and if her face looks familiar, that's because she's an actress, but she's also a nurse, among other things. Let's welcome Ms. Shauna Chin, Vice Chair of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council.
Master of Ceremonies, thank you for doing the protocol and observing the protocol earlier. I do so many things because I'm a Jamaican. We have 20 jobs, right? Good morning. It is my significant pleasure to speak to you this morning. I serve as the Vice Chair for the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and the elected member for the USA West and Midwest region. My role as Vice Chair is to liaison with the other members of the 28-member council and report directly to the Chair, who is our Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, who has left us and has delegated to Minister of State, Senator Leslie Campbell. Minister, we miss you. He works us very hard. And he said earlier in his speech that we're here on vacation. It's a lie. He's working us. Send help. Throughout the Diaspora Conference, you will hear quite a bit about the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and the Youth Council, as we are created out of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade for the sole purpose of strengthening the engagement between Jamaica and its diaspora. Therefore, I find it important to use my 1 minute of being able to speak to you to advise you on what it is that we actually do, so that you're not only better able to gauge our effectiveness and success, but also that you're better able to understand how to work with us for a true collaboration. To our diaspora members, especially the traditional regions where elections were held, we're not your representatives in the context of leadership. Those still remain the heads of missions. We are your representatives whom you have selected to sit on this council as advisors to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Department of Diaspora Affairs. Our mandate, simply put, our goal, directive, is to advance Jamaica's mission of Vision 2030, which aligns directly with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. This is important for me to highlight because often it does not align with some of our pressing concerns in the diaspora. But I assure you that during our 5-hour-long meetings, which, Minister, we love dearly, there is designated time for us to bring forth the pressing concerns in our regions and our sectors. It is so easy to beat the ministry, but my diaspora, I see them working so very hard, all hours of the night, to interact with multiple time zones, and we are only a small, though important, aspect of all that they do. Therefore, as much as you have been patient, I'm asking for your continued patience with them as they engage us. We are here finally at the table, and your voices are being heard. There are so many moving parts that the only way to keep this wheel moving is to focus on the mandate of the development goals, which in conclusion leads me to our other ministry departments and our sponsors. To provide a manageable framework to address all 17 of the Sustainable Development Goals, we have divided the Council into 5 working groups: People, Planet, Prosperity, Peace, and Partnership. And today we have our team lead for Prosperity, Dr. Alan Cunningham, here with us. And online, we have all our Global Jamaica Diaspora Council members and our Youth Council members who are actively watching. So you have the entire group of us who are supporting you and rooting for Jamaica. Additionally, within those 5 working groups that we've created, the work was consolidated further to work on key areas of interest. In true spirit of partnership and collaboration, throughout the conference, learn the work of the working groups and how you can work with the Diaspora Affairs Department to partner with us. Together, let's truly work together in reigniting a nation for greatness. Thank you.
Germany. I'm excited to be able to celebrate the Jamaica 60th Diaspora Conference with you. Education is the best way to ignite a nation for greatness.
Thank you very much. As we proceed with our program, our legacy partners are critical in this, not just in this Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference, but that's just a fact. They are critical. In season or out of season, they are critical. And so we're delighted to have Ms. Sanya Spencer, Marketing Executive, JN Group, offering brief remarks on behalf of the legacy partners.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Dervan Malcolm, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Mark Golding, Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade, other government ministers, Ambassador Sheila Monteith, members of the diaspora, fellow Jamaicans, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I extend apologies on behalf of the Jamaica National Group, the Honorable Earl Jarrett, CEO, who is unavoidably absent. It is my pleasure to bring, on behalf of the Jamaica National Group and the other legacy partners, Grace Kennedy Group, the Victoria Mutual Group, at this official launch of the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference. Since the inception of the conference in 2004, the legacy partners and the leadership which emerged overseas and locally in partnership with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade embraced the aims and objectives of the diaspora movement and have worked to enhance the movement's structure and strengthen the links with our country, as well as the initiatives of our people in the diaspora. Jamaicans in the diaspora and at home have been better able to appreciate the significant economic contributions made to our country to benefit diverse areas of national life, including health, education, tourism, sports, exports, the environment, and many other areas. All of us who have served the movement recognize that we have a unique opportunity at this year's Diaspora Conference to continue the work to achieve Vision 2030 National Development Plan for Jamaica. Also, we have the opportunity to consider global trends and their impact, as well as critical diaspora partnerships, and to further strengthen the links between our country and its nationals in the diaspora. This launch event here in downtown Kingston, in the beautiful Kingston Hall, is our personal invitation from our legacy partners and the government of Jamaica for Jamaicans at home and abroad to join us. This year, we anticipate a dynamic and exciting series of anniversary celebrations, as well as an engaging Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference. As we continue to work together, stronger together, let's work to reignite a nation for greatness. Thank you.
And at this time, we're going to, we're going to invite Minister Johnson-Smith and Minister Campbell to the platform. And we're also going to invite the legacy partner representatives in sequence: VM, Grace, then JN. These are our legacy partners. Can we have a resounding round of applause for our legacy partners, please? I gather the louder the applause, the more the likelihood of those numbers going up, up, up. So those presentations for photo ops as well. That's great. Well, if the subject is the size, you know what they say. Good things come in small packages. I think we're going to need a quick group photo after this. So can we get you took that group picture already? The legacy partners, the presenters just now, please. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at another of our diaspora messages.
My name's Carlton Brown, and I'm the proud owner and founder of Marshall & Brown. We were privileged in 2017 to have the opportunity to visit the Jamaica Diaspora Conference in Kingston. That conference was the catalyst for us and inspired us to develop this wonderful brand called Marshall & Brown. We were able to network, to meet with highly accredited international suppliers of foods in Jamaica. But it also gave us the opportunity to meet with JAMPRO, the trade and investment arm. As a consequence of that, we have developed what we now consider to be the most premium brand to come out of Jamaica, delivering luxury Caribbean foods. It's been an amazing journey, but that conference was definitely worth the investment, the time, and the opportunity.
Thank you very much. It's time now to hear brief remarks and listen to the introduction of the keynote speaker. And so we invite the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade to make those remarks now and introduce our keynote speaker, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness.
Thank you. Good morning, good evening, good night, everyone, wherever you are, and thank you so very much for joining us online today. I am delighted to be here with you this morning for the official launch, and as you will note, I am following the moderator's instructions. I'm a rules girl, I'm a systems girl. He said he did the protocol, so I am launching right in. But it is an absolute pleasure to be here with you and to share this signature event of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade with you. The Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference is going to be phenomenal, as you can clearly see. And it is a pleasure, therefore, to welcome you to this very important precursor to the 9th staging in June. I want to thank, before I say anything else, I want to thank Minister Campbell, I want to thank PSC Monteith, Mr. Hall, the entire team here at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, as well as our dedicated legacy partners and stakeholders for the preparations that have been completed to date. We are clearly on track for a highly successful conference in June, due in no small part to the creative and talented members of the planning committee, including members of the subcommittees which have been activated. Many of you, as has been said earlier, have been with us on this journey since the inaugural conference in 2004, or have worked on subsequent editions, and we are truly, truly appreciative of your contributions. Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, as we emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic, we have had to adapt to new challenges while ensuring that we take advantage of new opportunities. And we are thankful, eternally thankful, that responses to some of the immediate needs brought about by the pandemic were rapid and decisive, particularly from members of the diaspora, as well as our bilateral and multilateral partners. We have developed new tools to manage the crisis, which are therefore building our resilience to the next. And digitization has largely been at the heart of this process, both in the public and private sectors. There is so much more I could say about the actual collaboration that has taken place over the last 2.5 years, but time is limited. So I want to simply say that this ministry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, is extremely grateful for the ongoing public and private sector support and collaboration which we have in place with our diaspora members. And we want to commend each and every one of you for the valuable assistance that you have played in supporting our recovery and indeed going well beyond. As noted by Minister Campbell earlier in his remarks, Jamaica has been recognized as a country which has been making positive strides in its diaspora engagement process. Our network of high commissions, embassies, and consulates prioritize the facilitation of trade and investment initiatives, as well as maintain and strengthen relations with the diaspora through our economic diplomacy program, which we have launched in conjunction with JAMPRO, represented here today. Morning, ma'am. And it is also, of course, a companion effort together with the Ministry of Tourism's Rediscover Jamaica campaign, which encourages Jamaican domestic tourism through diaspora marketing along with other measures, and has been introduced to incentivize diaspora members who may be thinking of returning home to Jamaica to work, study, or indeed to invest. Together with our new Global Diaspora Councils, these programs have been highlighted as model engagement strategies and have led to the development of important relationships and partnerships. And allow me just one more minute to say how much I appreciate the presence of Madam Vice Chair Chin, Dr. Cunningham, and the presence, virtual albeit, but virtual presence of all our global diaspora members, diaspora council members, and youth council members from overseas, in every nook and cranny of the world, as Minister Campbell said earlier. You are there, you are with us, the navel string can't untie, and we are happy to work with you. I wanted to share with you that in all the many interviews that I've had to be doing recently, I was asked the question, what are you most proud of in your tenure as Ministry of Foreign Affairs and as Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade? And I want to tell you, securely in the top 3 is the creation of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and the Global Jamaica Youth Diaspora Council, really leveraging the power of the diaspora beyond our traditional locations, and certainly working towards creating that resilient bond of which we can all be truly proud. Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, notwithstanding the accolades which we have received, including from the IOM, we intend to continue to do more to transform the relationship between Jamaica and our diaspora into a more strategic, mutually beneficial relationship. We recognize that our diaspora members are an integral part of Brand Jamaica and are strong advocates for Jamaica and Jamaicans wherever they reside. We want to make it easier for the diaspora to contribute to Jamaica's sustainable development while simultaneously assisting members of the diaspora to address social and economic issues that directly affect them in their host countries and indeed to prosper in the countries where they reside. This will require the integration of diaspora-related issues into government, policies, plans, and programs, and you will recognize that this work has already started, as you will see the changes customs have made in terms of digitization that allows returning residents better facilitation on their way home. TAJ has implemented many processes, so now you can pay online even before you travel to Jamaica. So when you vacation here, you can really vacation instead of spending all your time. You can register with the company's office online when you're coming to invest, and then you can look about the business when you come home. So we are actually unfolding and mainstreaming these policies, and I hope that you are truly feeling the results as you engage with us. Jamaica is investing in its digital infrastructure to support our ongoing societal transformation. To facilitate greater growth and development, we will have to encourage more innovation, enable a digital economy, and create the right opportunities for our nationals who reside at home and overseas to participate in this transformation. So we invite you, June 14 to 16, to participate in and contribute to this particularly meaningful crossroads conversation taking place at the heart of Jamaica 60. The government recognizes that our nationals overseas are key actors on the international stage, and that your sphere of influence in your host countries are of tremendous value to Jamaica. As investors, philanthropists, bridge builders, brand ambassadors, lobbyists, marketers, and of course, consumers. Right, Mr. Chairman? The need to deepen our engagement is a clear and ever-present guiding philosophy of this ministry. And it is my hope that the conference will provide the necessary forum to widen our discussions on issues such as digital public service delivery, digital skills for the general workforce, digital infrastructure, cybersecurity, and reliable, secure data flows. So you all know, understanding why Prime Minister is here, right? It's his digitization agenda. Absolutely, we invite our diaspora members and the public and private sector to consider these issues in their respective deliberations. These discussions will allow Jamaica to position herself more strategically in the global political economy. So, Prime Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, this conference serves as a call to action to utilize our collective experiences, knowledge, social, human, and economic capital to truly transform Jamaica in all its dimensions. With your help, we will exceed the target of 5,000 registered participants, setting the stage for wider engagement and harnessing the true potential of all of us, both at home and abroad. I look forward to a successful conference and extend my best wishes to you in this, our 60th year of independence. And indeed, this is a boon year for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Today marks the second time since the start of the year that I've been privileged to welcome to this stage a particularly important and distinguished gentleman to our headquarters. I'm even more delighted that he has agreed to address you at this global launch of the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference, underscoring the importance that this government and indeed our Prime Minister places on engagement with the diaspora. Recently returned from said diaspora, ladies and gentlemen, I invite the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness to address you today.
I'm very pleased to join you this morning to launch Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference, which bears special meaning this year as we celebrate Jamaica's 60th anniversary of independence. Jamaica has always been, I would describe it as an international country. And we have always been giving our people to the world. So Usain Bolt's "to the world" is new. And as we mark our 60th year, look out for our Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade to the Commonwealth. This Diamond Jubilee marks a significant milestone in our development as a country and as a people, providing us with an opportunity to place in sharp focus the intersection of the past and the future, with a sense of reflection and vision. Naturally, we anticipate that this year will be fully decorated with celebratory activities in commemoration of this momentous occasion, and these have already begun, including with Jamaica 60 launches in the diaspora. I have recently returned from events in New York. The Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference is another major feature of this anniversary year, which we hope to experience on a global scale like never before, as it is being held in a hybrid format, thus facilitating the participation of Jamaicans from across the globe. As we commemorate our Diamond Jubilee, we, like many countries across the globe, are being impacted by external shocks brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the abhorrent war on the Ukraine. Undeniably, these are challenging times, at home and in many parts of the world. If we have learned anything from the past 60 years, it is that in true Jamaican spirit, we must strengthen our resolve to build that which works, that which offers prospects for progress, that which nurtures the human spirit and leads us to chart better pathways for our collective development. Our motto, "Out of many one people," reminds us that Jamaica, historically, is a composite of peoples from different groups and countries who have come together to make this island our home. In the circle of life, it is from among these same people that some have left our shores and gone elsewhere, in fact, all over the world, to settle and thrive, and still they call this little rock their home. These are the members of the Jamaica diaspora, estimated to be in the region of about 3 million, whose interest, loyalty, and contribution we recognize in the biennial diaspora conferences, which have been hosted since 2004. As they have always done, fueled by their generosity of spirit and concern for their homeland, over the past 2 years of uncertainty and hitherto, they have given us great support, and they have assisted us in confronting our challenges. Their donations of personal protective equipment and other medical supplies assisted our efforts in combating the pandemic significantly. And of course, they continue to support us in education, in health, in, as was mentioned by the chairman of the committee, but I was really now speaking in his capacity as the chairman, the chief executive officer of Grace. Our diaspora came to us in our moment of need, to our rescue with remittances. So, over the course of this year, and as we have our celebrations, we must use this opportunity to truly thank, commend, acknowledge, embrace, pay respect to, and display our love for our diaspora. As they continue to support Jamaica, even as they work in their new homes, they continue to ensure that we who are back at home can survive. I've been reliably informed that there has been a noticeable increase in the number of Jamaican residents overseas who are making claims to their Jamaican citizenship and requiring their passports. And this is now, I'm getting this from our consulates overseas. And as I travel, many Jamaicans are complaining to me, it is taking too long for me to get my passport. This is a very new complaint. These are not people who are seeking to renew. These are persons who have applied recently for their Jamaican citizenship. And that says, as much as we sometimes would disparage things here, the value of Jamaica outside of Jamaica is significant. And this includes not just persons who have left and their children are applying. We are now looking at, family members of those and second and third generations who are seeking to get their Jamaican citizenship. It's an asset that we have, this Jamaica. And if we could just find that right formula, right, Mark? Let's work together in the 60th year to find that formula. It's amazing when we go overseas and we meet members of the diaspora. They will tell you, first of all, how much they love Jamaica. And they will go back to what Chairman Webby said. But some of them are idle. So it's not just roast pork and so they will tell you about the lovely food, the lovely people, the lovely beaches, the lovely parties, just the weather, just being in the Jamaican frame of mind. But after they're finished with that, then they will start to tell you about all the other problems. So they love Jamaica dearly, but they, like all of us, are frustrated with the challenges that we face. And if we were able to conquer these challenges, there would be nothing to stop Jamaica from fulfilling its true destiny as the place of choice to live, work, raise your families, do business, and, as I like to say, retire in paradise. So we also appreciate the philanthropy of our diaspora, and we continue to engage them in this regard. But as the government continues its efforts towards recovery in the pandemic, we also want to engage the diaspora in investment. We want to bring the diaspora here for business. We want our Jamaicans to see Jamaica as a destination for business. So I'm happy to see that JAMPRO is here, the Ministry of Agriculture is here, the Ministry of Investment and Commerce. It has to be that when our diaspora members think, where can I deploy capital? That Jamaica comes up in the top 5 destination for capital usage. So I would love this conference this year, Minister, to focus on the business opportunities here. Our capital markets are doing very well, leading the region. Real estate is doing very well, leading the region. Business process and knowledge process outsourcing, leading the nation. We have opportunities in agriculture and logistics. Let us bring this massive resource in the diaspora to bear on making the investments that will cause our country to grow. I want to assure our diaspora that in response to your desire to work with us, we are committed to take action to facilitate the strengthening of our relations, which will include strengthening the communication channels, aligning diaspora engagement activities across ministries, departments, and agencies, increasing the interface with diaspora organizations across the globe, expanding our outreach beyond the traditional diaspora locations, and deepening the cultural connectivity and linkages among the second, third, and fourth generation of Jamaicans. As I close, I wish to underscore that a successful partnership at all levels among the government, the private sector, and the diaspora is crucial if we are to support the growth agenda in a meaningful way. This inclusive approach is indeed part of the legacy of the diaspora conferences over the years, and is one that will continue to guide our approach in the years to come. I commend the Planning Committee, which is so ably led by Senator Don Webby, Group CEO of Grace Kennedy Limited, and includes other legacy partners such as Jamaica National and VMBS. I thank them for their continued support and interest in engaging with the diaspora, including through our biennial conferences. I'm grateful to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, led by Minister Johnson Smith. We were commenting that we haven't seen her in a little while, but we understand that she is also carrying our flag, representing our foreign affairs interests. But again, Jamaica to the world. Jamaica believes that, strengthening our multilateral organizations will inure to the benefit of Jamaica. A better world means a better Jamaica. And where we can offer our resources, as we have always done, we will offer them. So we offer our Minister of Foreign Affairs to the Commonwealth. And we're going to make the Commonwealth an institution that will serve its members well, serve the development, the economic progress, the civil and social progress, and the technological progress of its members well. So I'm also grateful for the support of Senator Leslie Campbell, our Minister of State, who has responsibility for diaspora matters. So I am now pleased to launch the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference, which is scheduled to be held from the 14th to the 16th of June this year, hosted out of this very building, and wish it every success in achieving its goals. I look forward to the diaspora's continued support and engagement with the government of Jamaica as we rekindle our resolve to ensure that Jamaica realizes its destiny for greatness in all spheres. May God bless Jamaica, land we love. God bless you, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prime Minister, for starting the ball a-rolling in a manner of speaking, igniting or reigniting the room at this launch, which will then transcend the conference, etc. And now it is time for some notable acknowledgements. Ambassador Sheila Sealy-Monteith, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, will oblige.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. It is indeed a brave civil servant who takes the floor after the Prime Minister. But he will, of course, allow me, because I am extending acknowledgements to him and to others. The Master of Ceremonies already has acknowledged the number of persons who are here present as well as online. I think you will understand if I take just an extra time to similarly acknowledge my colleague permanent secretaries, Sewell, Griffith, and Robertson, particularly because they represent not only their colleagues, but the entire structure of the public sector, the ministries, departments, and agencies who will have a very vital role to play, not only in the staging of this conference, especially where it concerns the government at your service platform, but in terms of supporting the work of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in the implementation of the outcomes of the conference and in the government of Jamaica's engagement with the diaspora. I therefore want to welcome all of you. My ministers have already done so, and for some of you, this is the first time you're visiting us in our new home, so it's a particular pleasure. My task this morning is an easy one, because I take the floor after the excellent presentations which have been made by our Prime Minister, our two ministers, the chairman of the conference, remarks from the vice chair of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, and other contributors representing various stakeholders in diaspora engagement. Clearly, I cannot add to the information that has been shared because it has been so comprehensive. Tremendous outpouring of support for the staging of the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference. Prime Minister, ministers, on behalf of the entire ministry, I thank you for your leadership and for continuing to demonstrate the government's commitment to strengthening the relationship with the diaspora. Although circumstances may vary over time, what remains constant is a recognition of the importance of including our Jamaicans overseas in the development of our beloved country in ways that are mutually beneficial. To our legacy partners, you have worked with the ministry over the years in supporting the diaspora conference process, which has also had significant positive impact in reinforcing the position of your companies as stalwarts of the Jamaican private sector and models of corporate social responsibility in communities at home and across the globe where Jamaicans reside in their numbers. To the members of our diplomatic corps, I acknowledge your presence this morning as you represent several countries in which there's a significant population of Jamaicans, some dating back to the early 20th century and some of more recent vintage. It is important that we recognize that migration has the potential to strengthen collaborative and fruitful partnerships in the international system, especially as individuals have become key actors in the relations between and among states. We therefore look forward to working with our bilateral and multilateral partners as we seek to improve the regulations governing the movement of people across international borders. To our diaspora, we thank you. Of course, this ministry is just one of the many that provide services to the diaspora, and we're happy that one of the major objectives of the conference is to create an opportunity for members of the diaspora to directly engage with key ministries, departments, and agencies. We have long recognized that our Jamaican brothers and sisters overseas require access to the services of our MDAs, and we are grateful that over the years this has been accomplished and often with positive reviews. Admittedly, this year will be a little different in terms of the method of interaction, as we have to pivot to the virtual space, and this will fit seamlessly with the ethos of this edition of the conference, supporting the digital transformation of Jamaica. So I hope you took careful note of the presentation, which was supposed to be helping you to navigate and to know how you can connect, and our conference team is able to provide you with further support in this regard. Prime Ministers, Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, with all the information that has been shared, where do we go from here? With just over a month to the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference, there's a lot of work that needs to be accomplished. But with your support and the dedicated effort of all stakeholders and partners, success is entirely within our reach. We have it. We will work with our partners in the diaspora to ensure that the program content satisfies the desire on the part of the diaspora to have dialogue on issues of importance to them, while ensuring that the exchange is also supportive of the development priorities of the government of Jamaica. We will therefore, as you have heard, have an agenda that will create the opportunity for robust exchanges on a range of issues, ultimately with a view to securing mutually beneficial outcomes for the diaspora and for Jamaica. The program will also include innovative and far-reaching plans by government to realize the digital transformation of the country. I'd like to extend our gratitude to the chairman for his guidance, to the project management team led by Ms. Lisa Ann Ogilvie, and the diaspora team led by Minister Campbell, and of course with the overarching support of Minister Johnson Smith, to Professor Ying and the subcommittees, and we ask that you continue to give them your support. And so it is said, a child shall lead them. And so we thank Little Ngozi Wright for reminding us of just that, for the profound statement in such an endearing performance. And to you, Mr. Master of Ceremonies, yourself, Mr. Diaspora, for the many ways in which you have supported the diaspora movement and the engagement over many years, and you have found yourself a perfect fit this morning in leading our event today. And so as we celebrate the 60th anniversary of Jamaica's independence, the 60th year of the establishment of the Foreign Ministry, and the 19th year since the convening of the first Diaspora Conference, we recognize the value and strength of partnerships that have supported the achievement of these milestones. The Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference is therefore not an end in itself, but represents the ongoing efforts to collaborate with Jamaicans across the globe. We acknowledge and appreciate your presence and your support, and we look forward to walking with you along this path of partnership. I thank you.
So all that's left for us to do is to acknowledge Ambassador Sheila Sealy-Monteith for acknowledging all those who got acknowledgements. Thank you very much. And so we remind you as we wrap, hashtag Diaspora Conference 2022, hashtag Jamaica Diaspora, hashtag Reignite Our Nation with the Diaspora, hashtag Celebrating Jamaica 60, hashtag Countdown to Conference. Thank you very much, Prime Minister. I know you're going to be tweeting nonstop and recognizing those hashtags. Thank you.
Find the businesses to help you live a better life, a beautiful life, a graceful life with Grace Kennedy Financial Group.
together, together. That the more we are together, the happier we shall be. That the more we are together, together, together. More we are together, the happier we shall be. 'Cause your friend is my friend is your friend. More we are together, the happier we shall be. Sha la 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 la, li 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 la 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 la, la 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 la, li 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 li. And the more we talk together, 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 and the more we talk together, and the happier we shall be. And the more we talk together, 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 more we talk together, and the happier we shall be. And the more we laugh together, together, together. Oh, we laugh together,